Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We'll share benefit with regards to how Isa alayhi salam treated al-abras, the skin disorder which is referred to as leprosy, or to be more specific, vitiligo, where you have the white patches of skin on the body. And our texts indicate in the Quran that Allah Azza wa Jal, He mentioned that Isa would treat such illnesses, such as the statement Jalla wa Ala, وَأُبْرِئُ الْأَكْمَهَ وَالْأَبْرَصَ وَأُحْيِي الْمَوْتَى بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ, that I treat the blind and the leper and I bring the dead back to life through the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah Azza wa Jal also told him in Surah Ma'idah, وَتُبْرِئُ الْأَكْمَهَ وَالْأَبْرَصَ بِإِذْنِ, and you treat the one who is blind and the leper through my will, through my permission. So this indicates that Isa alayhi salam treating the people, it was only through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's iqdar, giving him the ability to do so, and he himself had no ability to do so without Allah Azza wa Jal's permission. And this is an important matter of Aṭīyah, that Allah Azza wa Jal huwa shafi, that Allah is the one who cures. And the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, when the Sahabi, he wanted to treat him from the seal of prophethood that was between his shoulder blades, he said to him, طَبِيبُهَا الَّذِي خَلَقَهَا, the one who treats it is the one who created it. So Allah Azza wa Jal, He's a shafi. And it's an important aspect of Aṭīyah that even medications and treatments that we may be taking, these are nothing more than asbab. They are causes and means for treatment. But if Allah Azza wa Jal has not written for the person to be treated by them, then they will never be treated, no matter how much medication they take. The manner in which Isa alayhi salam, he would treat the person who was sick, the one who was a leper, is through a dua. This is what our scholars have mentioned. Al-Baghawi rahimahullah, he mentioned in his tafsir, when discussing how Isa alayhi salatu wasalam treated them, he said, وَكَانَ يُدَاوِيهِمْ بِالدُّعَاء عَلَى شَرْطِ الْإِيمَانِ, that he would treat them through supplication with the condition or the stipulation that they were believers. So if you're a believer, I will supplicate for you, and in turn Allah will accept my dua and you will be treated. Also Razi rahimahullah, he mentioned, وأما عيسى عليه السلام فهو وجيه في الدنيا بسبب أنه يستجاب دعاؤه ويحيي الموتى ويبرئ الأكمه والأبرص بسبب دعائه. He said, as for Isa alayhi salam, then he was one of status with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this life, and because of this his dua was responded to, and he would bring the dead back to life, and he would treat the blind as well as the leper بسبب دعائه, through his supplication. Also Al-Alusi mentioned similarly in Ruh al-Ma'ani, and a number of scholars. So we benefit that Isa alayhi salam, the manner in which he would treat the people is through his supplication. This is what the people of knowledge have mentioned. Wallahu Azza wa Jal yujibu ad-da'i idha da'a, and Allah, He answers the call of the one who calls when he does. And especially His prophets and messengers, He answers them Jalla wa Ala, as they are the most beloved of His creation to Him. And this was an ayah and a sign from the signs that Isa alayhi salatu wasalam was given. As for the texts that indicate that Isa, he would bring the leper to a body of water and tell them to go into the body of water, and from this they would become treated, then there's nothing in our texts that indicate this or establish it authentically to Isa alayhi salam. And this is more than likely min al-Isra'iliyat, the texts of the Jews and the Christians. And these types of texts, we do not rely upon them. We do not rely upon them, nor do we build an Aṭīyah, a belief on them. This is because there is a lot of tahrif, distortion in these books and alterations, which make it difficult or impossible for us to ascertain the reality of what is in these books. So we are not to believe that there is a body of water that if a person was to go to and place themselves in, submerge himself in it, that they would become treated from illnesses. In addition to that, we heard in the very beginning that this is all through bi'idhnillah, the permission of Allah. So it is Allah Azza wa Jal who gave permission for Isa alayhi salam to treat this. And it's not permitted to believe that a body of water independently has this ability. هذا شرك. This would be shirk. It would be establishing asbab, causes and means that Allah Azza wa Jal has not legislated. So this would enter into the shirk, wallahu musta'an. So from this it is clear to us how Isa alayhi salam, he treated the people, and the method that he used, which was a supplication and dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is what we're in need of. And Allah Azza wa Jal, He mentions in the noble Quran, وَقَالَ رَبُّكُمُ ادْعُونِي يَسْتَجِبْ لَكُمْ, and Allah, He said, call upon me and I will answer you. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَسْتَكْبِرُونَ عَنْ عِبَادَتِي سَيَدْخُلُونَ جَهَنَّمَ دَاخِرِينَ. Those who are arrogant for my worship, they will enter the hellfire داخرين, in humiliation. So the believers in Allah on the last day, if there is an illness such as this or any other sickness, then the way forward in treating it from the greatest asbab is the dua, turning to Allah Azza wa Jal and invoking Him. And from the times that the dua is accepted is while the person is fasting. As you know, the hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu in the Sunan, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he mentioned 3 supplications are not rejected. وَمِنْهَا الصَّائِمِ, the supplication of the one who is fasting. So let a person take advantage and make dua. And if we're to look at also the statement of Allah Azza wa Jal in Surah Al-Baqarah, وَإِذَا سَأَلَكَ عِبَادِي عَنِّي فَإِنِّي قَرِيبٌ أُجِيبُ دَعْوَةَ الدَّاعِ إِذَا دَعَانِ. And when my servants ask you about me, then I am close. I respond to the call of those who supplicate when they invoke me. To the end of the ayah, Allah Azza wa Jal, He mentions there that He answers the call of the one who is supplicating. And that same page is where Allah Azza wa Jal, He mentions, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ الصِّيَامُ كَمَا كُتِبَ عَلَى الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. O you who believe, the fast has been ordained upon you like it was ordained upon those who came before you, so that you may be people of taqwa. So you can see the correlation between the fast and the supplication. So a person should always turn to Allah Azza wa Jalla. And ينبغي بل يجب, it is a must. It is a must for the believer, mandatory upon them, to turn to Allah Azza wa Jalla for their needs. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will answer our calls. We ask Allah Jalla fi ula to make what we have heard here of benefit for us. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.